Yes, I did email first, and it was suggested that I go to the Facebook for more support and more. My brain isn't working right now. So basically, 6 months ago, I was on vacation with my family. I hadn't seen them in quite a while because I moved out 2 years ago. And they basically tricked me into talking to their pastor, who then attempted an exorcism on me. Basically, they think that a demon, or actually my dad is convinced that it's the devil, the actual Satan, is the one that's attacking me and controlling me and all this other stuff. I'm on the schizophrenia spectrum, and so their pastor basically confirmed to them that I had a demon inside me. He was feeding their fear of and for me, and that's so dangerous. Performing an exorcism on someone who already struggles with delusions and warped perceptions of reality, it's so dangerous. But I saw through it because I have been questioning the faith I was brought up with for a couple years now. So I was able to, it didn't send me into another psychotic break. I was okay, but it was an exorcism. Yeah. So I ended up leaving, going home early. My brother drove me for 2 hours to get me out of there. Good. So I haven't spoken to them in 6 months now. And I just want some advice on, it's going to be a while before I actually talk to them. Sure. Because I'm not ready, but I don't know what to say to them. I want to call my mom out because her sister was schizophrenic, and she grew up seeing that, and she didn't see the signs of it in me, or she ignored the signs in me, or whatever. And my main anger is towards my mother because she let it happen when she knows that schizophrenia is a real thing. It's not caused by demons or the devil. I just don't know what I'm going to say to her when I do talk to her. Wow. Well, I think first, we want to say thank you for calling, thank you for emailing, and thank you for connecting. I mean, just putting that together for us speaks volumes about the personal growth that you've done. And thank you. I'm really, really happy to hear it. Your ability to take those things and separate them is incredibly difficult. It is so hard. And separating from that kind of indoctrination is so all the respect to you. All the love to you. That is amazing. And I'm so, so glad that you're here talking to us today. Thank you. First and foremost, that is the most important. You're getting so much love in the live chat. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And that being said, thank you to everyone in our community that reached out and helped Charlie. But moving forward, I admit that I read your email as was necessary. I didn't read the chain of responses from our crew in the email, and I didn't read very much of the Facebook exchange because I'm somewhat particular about the way that people respond in situations like this to people that are going through the kinds of things that you're going through. It's not really a thing that's handled very well in our country, even by non-religious people, and particularly people, I think that at one point in your email, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that your parents now don't believe in mental health or something? They don't believe in mental illness. I'm convinced my dad has anxiety. I'm convinced my mom has depression. And they ignore it in themselves, and they don't believe in it. They think that stuff like this is stuff you can pray away. They think that, I don't know what they think, honestly, but in my case, it's demons because I hear voices and I see things. So they don't believe in mental health. Like my mom tried to get me a little bit of help for 2014. I saw a therapist twice, but she was a religious therapist, so she also didn't quite take me seriously. I didn't get any help until I left. Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying not to flinch or vomit when you said, but she was a religious therapist.
Yeah.
I don't think that a person believing necessarily impedes their ability, but in this context, I kind of had an idea of where that was going. Let me, if you don't mind, just ask, are you getting the help that you need now, or at least some of it?
Oh yeah. I have 2 wonderful roommates that I live with, and they're getting me to therapy, and I'm on medication, and I'm doing so much better than I've ever done in my whole life before now.
That's really good. Yeah, I think that no matter what happens with your family, and I'm doing the kind of thing that I generally don't like in this situation, which is telling you what my opinion is bluntly, directly, and forcefully. I think that no matter what happens, you recognizing that you're doing better now than you've ever done before, recognizing that the difference between now and ever before is, from what I can hear from what you said in an email and what you're saying now, is that there is a level of independence and separation, at least emotionally, from your family, who you also clearly recognize were not a positive influence on your mental health.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, you're not alone. I too have a mental health diagnosis. Been diagnosed with bipolar 1 and have been, handling it successfully for a while now, but at least initially it was not being handled well. There's a reason I don't have a degree, but what I will say is there's something to be said, as Eric was saying initially, and I'll reiterate now, about a person who can get through religion, get through issues relating to gender, get through the family dynamic, and handle mental health and get themselves into a place where they are, as you said now, living with roommates that understand and help and getting the medication and therapy that they need. And so as much as we can provide support and comfort and help, I can only speak for myself. I know that Eric is as well, but I am also willing. I particularly now am very busy, and so admittedly I don't get to a lot of our emails, but I got to yours and will keep my eye out for any other email or direct message that you send me. I'm here for you and will get you what you need, provided that I can.
We all will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Working as a
thank you.
community, we do our best.
That means so much to me.
That said, hey, clinical depression here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something we should be able to talk about. And while Jamie is just a big love ball right now, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I'm so furious that we live in a society that supports a system where magical thinking like that is supported.
Yeah.
And I want to put out the call. There are people watching this and that will watch this in the future. And for those of you who are sitting on the fence going, oh, but it's just their belief. Fucking take a look. Take a look at what happens when people give in to magical thinking. Because this is horrendous. And Charlie, I am so sorry. And again, I am so glad that you're here. And fuck, if there's anything I could do, it's just to rail against, to try and stand up to maybe create a world, maybe we can create a world together where there are less people who fall to that kind of thing.
Yeah. To be clear, this is why we started this show. It's been pointed out to me, and I know it's a character flaw, that I like the sound of my own voice, but I would hate the sound of my own voice if it...
I didn't say anything.
No, you just gestured with a little but I would hate the sound of my own voice if I wasn't saying anything that I felt was meaningful or helpful. I don't really know how to say thank you for letting me help, but thank you for letting me help to the degree that I can.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is the most I've talked about my issues in a while. It's like I struggle with opening up to people, but I did, and I saw just this outpouring of love from all the people on your Facebook group. And I got over 80 comments on it, all people trying to help, all people trying to give me advice and support. And it was just like, it blew my mind. And I'm so amazed by what you guys are doing here. My brother and I really like your show.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
You're the reason we're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, so if you want advice, you know, there's loving advice and there's harsh advice. For me, being a Christian, it was really, really pushed when I was a Christian to forgive. Forgive. Somebody kills your family member, best thing to do is turn and forgive them. That's bullshit. There are times when forgiveness is not necessary.
Yeah.
And it's not always the healthiest thing. And I think that working on what's best for you, working on what's the right thing in your life is something that, you know, working together with a professional is the right path to go down. But that said, at least from where I'm standing, I hold no judgments on people who decide when there's toxicity in their life. If you make the choices, and it sounds like you're in a wonderful place, you already put yourself in a wonderful place where you don't have to be around that poison, and that was the right thing to do. And moving forward, it's the right thing when you're continuing to want to better your life. You don't have to if you don't want to, and that's okay.
I don't know about my dad because he genuinely believes this stuff. Like I know he was coming from a place of love. He thought that his baby was being attacked by demons, but it still shouldn't have happened. And like I said, a lot of my anger is towards my mom because she, I believe, isn't into it as much as my dad is and his side of the family is. I know that I don't think that she was a Christian before she met them. Actually, yeah, I know she wasn't a Christian before. So I just hope that someday soon she'll be able to put me ahead of her beliefs because I am her child, I'm her son, and she won't even acknowledge that I'm her son. And it's, I keep standing in this place where I'm at, where it's a good place and it's a safe place. And I keep flashing back to before, and I keep wondering, how did I even escape that? Because it was so strong. It was so strongly embedded in who I was. I couldn't imagine ever escaping it. And here I am, I'm out of it. And I have all the cards, and it's
damn straight you do.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
So
yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing quite like learning that you're strong and stronger than you thought, and strong and powerful in a way that you couldn't imagine.
I mean, I think the only thing that I have to add is my own personal experience, in that it doesn't always equate. I can tell you that working with a therapist, there was someone very close to me in my life, a family member, who had chosen their faith and where they were at. And it took me a long time. You know, I think it was close to a year of seeing a therapist and practicing the conversation and practicing what I wanted to get out of it and talking about it for me to be ready to be able to confront that person and have that conversation. And for me in my life, that was the right thing to do. I'm not saying that's something that you need to do. What I am saying, though, is that the scale of time does not need to be fast by any stretch. You know, when you're ready, if you're ready, or if you even want to have that conversation with your mom, take your time, talk to a therapist, work out what you want out of it, or what, you know, you can do about it, and, you know, do it on your terms. You hold those cards, you do. And so it's up to you. You have that power. You know, don't let them take any more from you than they already have.
Yeah.
fuck, you're a strong human being. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
My goodness. You messaged in, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of all this, and I'm thinking, what kind of dictatorial asshole am I going to sound like if I'm like, hey, you should do this? Like, I have nothing. I have nothing. I'm sitting here and I'm in awe that you're calling in this ready. After 2 years, being out for 2 years, you've set yourself up in a place in your life where you're able to deal with, to the best of your ability, where you're at and make decisions about where you're going in your future, and you're asking me for advice, and I'm like, I am so grateful that you are where you are. And I just want to keep in touch. I just want to know you. Like, I just want people to know you.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. You're like an example of how you can get out. I want to hold you up and be like, see, it's doable. You can do this, you guys. I mean, I appreciate you, Charlie. I really, really appreciate you.
Oh, man. I almost had a panic attack calling in here because I hold you guys to that same high standard.
Oh, we're just assholes. No, don't do that.
Speak for yourself. No,
I'm just an asshole. He likes the sound of his own voice. What do we have to add?
I'm kind of an asshole.
Well, you've really helped me. I've only been watching you for like a week, and I've just been binging your episodes, and it's amazing.
Yay!
Hey. If you make me cry on camera now, I'm going to have tears on my face for the rest of the episode. It's not fair.
Good.
Your mascara's gonna run.
I don't wear mascara.
Okay, I do.
All right. Eric is an asshole confirmed now. You don't wear mascara. Those are your natural eyelashes. Whatever. I'm sorry,
so,
Charlie.
yeah, the studio
show
lights
mode is
get really
in.
shiny and like hot, and so I wear makeup for the show.
Well,
It's hideous what's under here. You don't want to see that.
Getting real.
No,
It
is bad. It is bad. Like there was a thing to have me take off my shirt.
We're talking to Charlie right now. I don't have time
You might think
to
you want
back
to see
you
it.
up on
It's
your
not good.
ridiculous insecurity.
Anyway.
No insecurity is actually ridiculous. Just bantering at him in an interrupty way.
See, that's how we deal with terrible things. Is we try
Humor.
and joke even when it's
Lord.
not appropriate.
I'm worse on that regard than you are.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know how to deal with things in my personal life if I can't joke.
But
that's not true. I can cry.
If anything, what I'm seeing right now in the live chat is an overflowing of love.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what you got from us.
also
Actually,
seen-
I'm going to use our new thing. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot you some love rings.
From us to you.
Yes.
Even though they're great.
Definitely.
Can't see the thing.
You can watch the episode back.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Amazing.
great. Yeah. I made
There it is.
But
delay.
take care. Please
Yeah.
take care of yourself. Please
Please keep in touch. Yeah.
Okay,
we want to know.
definitely.
We want to support you. And if anything, just having people to talk to. This is what we're trying to build. And you're a part of it. You belong here, Charlie. You belong in this community.
Move
Thank you so
in
much.
next door to this
you.
building.
Big hug. Big hug.
Big hug.
Hug.
Yeah.
And,
You will be welcome if you move here.
Yes, you will.
Aside. Only partially joke.
All right. You take care, okay? We'll talk to you next time.
Yeah. You too. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Wow. Like, how do you move on with a show after that, right? Like, how do you just want to sit and you want to think, and it's like,
You want to
this is what we're here for. This is what we do.
Yeah. It's interesting because there were a couple of my regular caliber jokes that I could have thrown in there without interrupting. But
Yeah, I know. All right.